Living mindfully has helped me become more intentional in all areas of my life, including my finances. I'm sharing easy, mindful habits that help me save money. The more attuned I became with where I was spending my money, the less I would impulse buy and overconsume. By being mindful of where I spend the income that flows into my life, I have become a mindful consumer. And by organizing my finances, it has allowed my husband and I to focus on our long-term financial goals and to really put away savings. Whenever money flows into my life, I make sure I prioritize it and pay myself before I pay anybody else. I put a percentage of all income into savings and a percentage into investments. Paying myself ensures that I always have enough money for emergencies and savings, and that I am creating a future retirement plan for my husband and I. By making savings an automatic habit every time I receive income, I was amazed at how quickly my money started to grow. Even if it's just a small percent, like 5 or 10% of your income that you can put away into savings, it really does grow quickly. So making sure that I set aside my top priorities that I must pay, things that are absolute needs like housing, food, transportation, lights, electricity. Then the second thing I prioritize are the financial goals that my husband and I have set up for ourselves. We put these at the top of where we're spending our money, and all the wants come after. Emotions are very powerful on my decision making. So the best way for me to stick to any new habit or goal that I've created for myself is to create an emotional attachment to it. If I'm out shopping and I see a cute new dress or a great, fantastic skirt, I instantly start thinking things like, oh my gosh, I'll look so great in that. And oh, I can imagine all of the fantastic places and outfits I can wear with this particular skirt. What's happening is I start to create an emotional attachment around a purchase. Then it's pretty hard for me to walk away from that cute dress or that cute skirt because I'm emotionally attached. Financial goals work pretty much the same way with me. By sitting down and writing all of the wonderful things that I will be able to achieve and have, and how great it will feel to reach my financial goals, I have more of an incentive to always put money aside in my savings and in my retirement. Things like it will feel so secure to always have an abundance of money for emergencies, or how wonderful it will be when my husband and I retire, and having the financial freedom to go and see my kids all over the world wherever they're at. Creating this positive emotional attachment to savings and investment really helps us stick to our financial plan. My husband and I do a monthly budget every month. We sit down and tell our money where to go and how it's going to work for us. We use a budgeting app called You Need a Budget. I am not promoting them. They just happen to be the budgeting app that my husband and I have used for 15 years, and we really like them. But there's plenty of free budgeting apps out there that I'm sure are just equally as fantastic. It's funny how budgeting actually makes us feel like we're more in control of our finances and our life, and it takes a lot of pressure off of both of us. We've been budgeting together for over 15 years, and when we first started budgeting, it was pretty challenging, but then the more and more we did it and the more we practiced budgeting and telling our money where to go, the easier and more automatic it became. My husband and I used to argue a lot over finances, But once we came together and started to plan out and map the things that were important to us and agreed on where our money was going to serve us best, it really helped bring a sense of calm, peace, and unity to our marriage. Use up everything and let nothing go to waste. I am the youngest of 6 kids and I grew up in a rural community. I learned not to be wasteful. Being careful to not be wasteful and being very intentional with my possessions has affected my everyday behavior for my entire life. As an adult, I will buy used furniture from a thrift store or a yard sale, and I'll refurbish it with new paint and new hardware. I also will repurpose family antique heirlooms, like this beautiful water pitcher from my grandfather. I have turned it into a flower pot, and it brings me so much joy every time I see it. It reminds me of my grandfather's farm. I buy quality shoes and clothes that have a timeless look to them so that I can get as much use and wear out of them, so I'm not continually buying new clothes and shoes. I try to mend clothes or anything that breaks best I can if possible and continue using it. I will make a large batch of food like a soup or a casserole, something that will feed my family for 2 meals instead of just 1. Really just trying to make our dollar go as far as possible. I mostly just try my best to be a good steward of money and to be a mindful consumer. Overconsumption usually sneaks up on me if I'm not sticking to my budget or I'm buying things I never planned on buying. I overspend when I'm not practicing being a mindful consumer. By determining what we really need in our household and where our financial goals and priorities are helps keep me in line without overspending and overconsuming on things that I just don't need. These easy, mindful consumer habits really have made a tremendous impact on my husband and I's financial goals. They've helped us save money where before we felt really strapped. Now we feel like we always have abundance. I hope you found these tips interesting. Thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel grow so much. Thank you and have a beautiful day.